David Stern meeting with all of us, telling us this is going to have a huge impact on the game of basketball beyond our belief. 3-on-3 is going to have a huge impact globally. The way the Dream Team has an impact, this is going to carve out a whole new generation of basketball player.
What do you all think is going to be the biggest hurdle trying to create that dominance for the U.S. because we're not the favorite?
The competition is greater at the 3-on-3 level than it is at the 5-on-5 level. It is harder to dominate. Not every country can bring 12 great players to the forefront, but most people can find 4 good players. I mean, my neighborhood had 4 good players, okay?
In the NBA, we play 3-on-3,
yes.
Especially in season. If guys are not getting playing time, we play 3-on-3. I know, coming off coaching in college, I used it all the time to develop skills. And in this 3-on-3 setup, you can actually win and dominate a game with the old fundamentals.
And then 3-on-3, you have so much space on the court, but if you don't play good D, then you definitely get exposed.
Now, when I think of 3-on-3, I think of this where everybody can participate in something quite like this. Jim, this just didn't happen overnight. When did this develop?
Actually, conversations really started back in the mid-'90s after beach volleyball got into the Olympics as a second discipline in that sport. The powers that be started talking, what's another avenue for our sport?
10, 12 years ago, I was over in Serbia scouting, and I was at the game, at the Partizan game. I was sitting next to Marko Jaric's dad, who was a local hero. They're Pistol Pete, say. And the next day said, well, you want to go play some pickup? I said, yeah, let's get together. So we played 3-on-3, right? Mm-hmm. So the game starts, and they make a 3, throw it out, pitch out, make another 3, lay the ball in, take it out of bounds underneath, throw it back in. And before he blinked, the game was over.
Well, I think the first thing that players that are good 5-on-5 players need to understand is they need to respect this game.
And the differences.
And the differences. Right. Because the rest of the countries around the world have been playing this a lot longer than we are.
3-on-3 is different than 5-on-5. The pace of the game is so much faster. You have to be in better shape. As soon as you score, you got to turn around quickly or else they're going to score. So normally 5-on-5, you hit a big-time shot, you could shout, scream. 3-on-3, you can't do that. You got to turn around and you got to lock up.
Going back, I remember 1982, I went to Colorado Springs, right? And I got there late in the evening. My roommate was already in the room, right? And I walked in, this chubby guy sitting on the bed. I thought he was a manager. Big old dude. And the next day, when we split up teams, that guy was on my team. I'd never saw him play. It was the most amazing display of athleticism and power and speed and strength. It was Charles Barkley. That was the first time I met in 1982 in Colorado Springs.
In 3-on-3, our 2-point shot is worth 1 point, and the 3-point shot is worth 2 points. So we've doubled the value, right? It's worth 100% more. Could you imagine Daryl Morey coaching a 3-on-3 team? They would never shoot once, right? I mean, his team barely shoots 2
Don't you get that
now.
layup?
Right, I know, right?
I want to know somebody within FIBA competition, what player made you say, you know what, I think I need to work a little harder on my game?
Sabrina Ionescu. She is a killer, and she's that one player, she's great for 3-on-3. How she can score, she could pass, pick and roll. I mean, she's hard to guard. She's perfect for this game.
When I was with the Warriors, when Nelly would bring a guy in, say for a tryout, he'd have him play 3-on-3. He'd watch 10 minutes and could know right away if he wanted him on the team or not.
Wow.
And that goes back years and years. Huh?
10 minutes? Wow.
Yeah. But also, he knew what he wanted.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
He wanted an all-around player.
It's in the Olympic Games. I think it's there to stay. There's World Cups in 3-on-3, both at U18 and over 18. and it's going to play a significant role in the development of the sport, not just in this country. This is going to bring the sport to parts of the world that it hasn't otherwise been.
So how does someone necessarily that's interested in this, once they see it, how do they get involved in trying to get into something like this?
We've had an outreach to the basketball community about making sure that people knew this opportunity existed. In the more than 20 qualifiers that Red Bull will be operating, that provides a ground for people to be a part of the system and prove their abilities here. And I guarantee we'll find players both on the men's and women's sides that we're not even thinking about right now that will emerge to the forefront of this game.
You know, you talk about the partnership of Red Bull. You know, when I think of Red Bull, I think of X Games and it's action-packed. And I think it's only tremendous for us to be a partner with them, because this is something right up their alley. I think this has growth potential that's really huge for our game.
For sure. They're involved in a lot of non-traditional sports. They have a progressive DNA. We want to be progressive as an organization as well. This sport is progressive. And so this will be a great journey towards the Olympics, but it's bigger than that. And it's a new frontier for this sport, and it's a very exciting time for all of us involved.